One of the questions new customers always ask us is, do I have the ability to make my own custom fields? And the answer is yes. But before I show you how to do that, I want to warn you. It's better to learn how to use the program and what Mothernode can do for you out of the box before you decide to add your own custom fields. Custom fields are a dangerous animal, and the reason for that is that if you start to use them and then change your mind, well, now you have information that's in those custom fields that you may not know what to do with, okay? So be very careful, start to use the program the way it's intended to be used, and then fill in the gaps with custom fields in areas that you know that you need to have a custom field for. So let's show you how to do this. In this specific example, we're looking at a lead and opportunity, and a custom field that we want to add that's not in the program is the cost of this lead. In this example, we happen to use a lead service that we buy leads from. We pay for these leads. So when a brand new lead comes in, we're either going to pay $50 for this lead if we got it from the lead service, or $100 depending on the criteria. Okay, let's just say we have those two criteria. So down below, what we want to do is we want to add the cost of this lead, which doesn't exist, so we need to make a custom field for it. So let's take a look at how we do this. Go over to the Administration tab, go over to Custom Fields, and now you can see that we don't have any custom fields in our list, so we're going to go ahead and add one. Click over here on Add Field, and the first thing I want to do is give it a label. So I'm going to go Cost of Lead, and then I'm going to determine the type of field that this is. So is it going to be a single line of text, or do I want it to be a paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes, should this be a number or a date? So in this specific case, I'm going to use multiple choice. And when I click on this, my options appear below. The first one is always the field that I want to use for my default. So I'm not buying all of these leads. Some of them come through my website. Some of these folks call in. Some of these people respond to newsletters and so on. So the first number that I want to put in here is 0. Okay. Then over here, I want to say that the other one is $50. And then below that, the other option was $100. So the leads that I'm getting are either free, I'm paying $50 for them, or depending on the criteria, I'm paying $100 for them. All right. Now, across the top, I have a couple of other options. Do I want to make this field required? Yes or no? Well, in this specific case, since I'm not purchasing all of my leads, some of them are coming to me outside of this lead service, I'm going to say no. Do I want this to be able to print in the transactions? I'm going to say yes. I would like to see this on my printed PDF. Should this be searchable? Do I want to be able to search on my $50 leads or my $100 leads? You bet. I certainly want to see that so I can run reports. Do I want to make these batch updatable? Should I be able to find and replace these? In this case, that could be a 50-50, but I'm going to keep it with no. And then finally, should this duplicate when I duplicate a record over here? So when I duplicate this lead and create a brand new record of it, should these values, the selected value, duplicate with it? In this case, I'll say yes. And over here I have carry value, and what that means is this. I'm going to make this field appear in my leads and opportunities module. Okay, these are all the modules that I can have this field appear in. All right. Now, if I want this to appear in quotes, and a quote can be built off of a lead, if I say carry value, that means that when this quote was created off of this lead and opportunity, whatever value was selected in the lead and opportunity would carry the value forward to the quotes. If I selected no and did the exact same thing, I built this quote off of this lead and opportunity, if $50 was selected in the leads and opportunities, nothing would be carried forward into the quote. All right? So I'll go back to carry value, click save. We can now see that in our leads list, this is now displayed. And let's go back and take a look at the lead and opportunity. Open this up, and this will be applicable to all my leads and opportunities. You can see down here I have custom fields, cost of lead. And the cost of the lead defaults to 0 because, as I said, not all of my leads are being purchased. But if this was a purchase lead, then what I can do here is I can assign it to this and then save it down below. There we see update successful. and it's been saved at $50. So that is how you make custom fields. And again, I encourage you to use the program the way it's designed, with the information in the fields and the value lists that you have available to you before you go ahead and make custom fields. Make sure that when you make custom fields, you're making the right decision, and this is going to be a long-term solution within your Mothernode CRM account, because the last thing you want is making a bunch of custom fields that you end up retiring at some point, that have captured a bunch of data that you'll no longer have access to. Okay? So very important, but that is how you make custom fields.